Shalom. All praise is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Wadash. Double honors to the elect apostles, bishops, elders at Great Millstone, that were well. Shalom to like I out there in this work in sincerity and truth and not for vainglory in season out of season. Shalom to the men, women, sons, and daughters of the elect of the nation of Israel, which are the elect men, women, sons, and daughters of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans who scattered through the four corners of the earth. I just want to bring this out. The black woman is doing bad. She's down bad. You know, all the women, you know, the Latino, Hispanic, Native American women as well, West Indian, Haitian women, but the black woman, she's really down bad here in America, you know. A lot of black men are waking up to her madness, her pride, you know, her entitlement, you know, and more and more so-called black men don't want to deal with the so-called black woman. They either go to they'll go to Colombia, you know, they'll go to Brazil, you know, they'll go to the Philippines and even deal with the heathen nations, or they deal with so-called white women, and so she's down bad, but, due to her pride and her haughtiness, so, and it's only going to get worse for her, it's only going to get worse for the so-called black woman. And you rest of you tribes, Latino, Native American women, that West Indian, Haitian women that follow after the so-called black woman, being that she is she's the head, she's a part of the head tribe, the tribe of Yahwadah, which is a tribe of Judah in English, Yahwadah in the Hebrew, Lashon Kodash, Holy Tongue, which is the black, so-called African-American black woman. Okay, so let's go to it right quick. This is Isaiah 32nd chapter, and the 9th verse says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease," and we know the so-called black woman, she was at ease for a long time, man. She was getting all the benefits, Section 8, SNAP program, food stamps, whatever you want to call it. They call it SNAP now. Child support, alimony, divorcing her man, her husband or whatever the situation is, getting men locked up, calling the police on women, having good credit score, having all these nice jobs, high paying jobs, making 6 figures, so she was at ease for a long time, It says, "Rise up, you women that are at ease," especially the black woman. Now, it's talking about all the women of the 12 tribe, but I'm specifically going on the black woman. "Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech." Yeah, because at one time, man, black woman, she was really doing her thing, man. She could date the so-called white man, to try to make it with him, She would date the other heathen nations, and, the so-called black man couldn't do nothing about it, It says, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled." Yeah, that's coming. And that's, as you can see, the troubling is starting to come upon these, the so-called black woman, because, she can't go and do the passport bro thing. She tries to become a passport sis, but it doesn't work out for her, because the men of the, the Spanish speaking tribe men, the African men, they're not going for that, man. They'll go upside the head. The laws are different in different countries. She can't play the same game that she plays on the so-called black man over here in America, so, she's being troubled now. She goes to the clubs. There's no men there, so they're dancing with each other. Nobody's buying the drinks. They're ignoring her for the so-called white woman. There'll be a bunch of black women there, and then some black men will come in and they'll just ignore the black woman and they'll go straight for the white woman, and buy them drinks and so forth. And, you know, get to know the so-called white women, you know. So yeah, 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 and it's only going to get worse when you know, the time of Jacob's trouble is in full effect. You know, when there's no food, there's no water, there's a famine. You know, there's lawlessness in the streets. You know, she's going to get, you know, raped. You know what I'm saying? You know, because there's not going to be nobody there to protect her. You know, so she's going to be very troubled in those days. Ye careless women, for the venture shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Yeah, so all that good credit score and all them 6-figure paying jobs and hey man, that's all going to vanish. You know, it's going to fail you. You know, because the so-called white man is cutting you off on the 6-figure women and the Section 8 women. Okay, all right. You know, so yeah, it's coming for you, so-called black woman. It's coming for you because your pride. Okay, pride go for destruction, and you're gonna have to bow down to the so-called black man, West Indian, Haitian man, Latino, Native American man, especially you so-called black woman. Isaiah 4:1, for 7 women shall take hold of one man. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. You black women included. Hope you've been edified, and with that, shalom.